Hello, video response to, well, I saw it by Lawnboy's post, and his is a response to a video by MADWOBBA. That's a name, isn't it? Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts? Tell me your story. The very, very, very short answer is no, I don't. But define ghost. Do I believe in the spirit or soul of a dead person drifting through the world and haunting people and you know, apparitions and all of that? No. But I have other kind of ideas of things that may or may not be possible. I am very much a science. You know, science is important. Science provides, I think, most of the answers to... It describes the world that we live in, mostly. But I think it doesn't answer everything, because it hasn't answered everything yet. Wow, was that a sentence? They don't have all the answers yet. I mean, we believe in reality as what we can see and feel and touch and taste and hear and blah, blah, blah. And what we can measure with our scientific instruments. But there are things that we are unable to measure. Up until very recently, the Higgs boson was only a theory, and there is still, you know, is it, isn't it, whatever. Science hasn't answered everything yet. There is a theory that the universe, the world, the physical world that we are familiar with is actually just a holographic projection from the outer two-dimensional edge of the universe, and it's all projected. I mean, boggled brains and everything. I've done I think it was a 5-video series describing my theories of the existence of reality and blah blah blah. I've got a playlist. Check the front page of my channel and the playlist and whatever. You'll see it. I guess I stand by everything I said in that. I can't actually remember what I said, but you know, my ideas change all the time. I kind of have this idea of reality as we see it, I suppose, fits in with that whole holographic reality thing, that everything is just dictated by information. I'm not going to say program code. I mean, we're not talking the Matrix here, probably, but that there is information somewhere that says I'm sitting here, and that it may be possible to alter that information. Power of the mind? I don't know. But here's where we get on to what my experience. Do I believe in ghosts? Not exactly. Poltergeists? Yes. Poltergeists I don't believe to be a dead spirit chucking things around. Poltergeist activity, I believe, comes from a living person being something, you know, usually traditionally, theoretically, a child or a adolescent or whatever. Excess energy, emotional energy, mental energy, something like that, that's like lashing out just whatever and flings the things around. Why do I believe that? Well, I mean, I've seen TV why can't I speak? Programs and read books on the subject, and they just kind of ring true, but you can't obviously believe everything you read. But the key thing is I had a poltergeist experience, and one where I could not be mistaken about... I could be mistaken about the cause, but I could not be mistaken about what actually happened. The cause, I theorized, is that I was very, very, very angry. I was about 14. I did not and never have got on well with my dad. The guy, I would say, was. He's still alive, but he's like dementia. There's really no one there anymore. But he was a bastard. Really, really a bastard. Knocked us about and everything. And, hey, there's a revelation. I don't think I ever told you that. But anyway, he one evening accused me of stealing money from him, which I didn't. And I was livid, absolutely furious. And I mean, I have a temper on me. I really do. I am prone to shouting and swearing and really, white with rage. You didn't know that. I keep that under control as an adult now. Because you kind of have to. You can't go behaving like that. But it took me a long while to get that. Never violent, but scary to watch. But I was in that state, raging, and I stormed into this room in that family home called the study, which had French windows, which were they had a bit of give in them. They were held closed by your normal door latch thing, and they also had a bolt across them, but you could push against them and they would have a bit of give. Anyway, I walked into the study and I sat down absolutely livid, and all of a sudden the French windows it was like there was someone on the outside, or maybe the inside, trying to open them. They were moving by about a foot in and out. It was a really aggressive, as if someone was trying to open them. But I could see as clear as day. It was dark out, but with the light in the room, I could see that there was no one there. And before anyone says maybe it was the wind, no, really. Not possible. The wind didn't even rattle those doors, not even slightly. There is no normal physical explanation for what happened, for what I saw. I mean, I was as near to those doors as I am, I would say, to this camera. I was a bit further away. I was about 3 feet away. The light from the room was perfectly bright. I could see there was no one on the other side of these doors. There was no one else in the room with me. I was not touching the doors. But for about 20 seconds, they were pulling in and out by about a foot. Not physically possible, but it happened. And I remember it to this day as clear as a bell because I was terrified. And I still have absolutely no explanation for it other than it must have been my rage doing that. How that works, the actual physical or whatever mechanic for it. I mean, I can theorize, I can ponder, I can rationalize till cows come home. But at the end of the day, it does not fit with anything scientifically explained. Science can't explain that unless it takes a step beyond where it is at the moment. Yeah, scared the crap out of me. Still actually puts a shiver down my back when I think about it, because, I mean, things like that, they're just not... To a scientifically minded, rational, logical person, things like that aren't supposed to happen. And it did. And it freaks me out because it says to me the world that we believe we live in is not all that there is. There is other stuff that goes on. I saw one other thing in mind. I mean, that's the only really, really dramatic, unexplainable thing that's ever happened to me. I've seen one other thing that I don't know what it was that I saw. But I wouldn't say it was dramatic. It might have been had I been higher up, shall we say. I was sitting... This was about 2 years ago. This is not related to ghosts and stuff. This is aliens, actually. Do you believe in aliens? I was standing in the back garden a few years ago, having a fag. Cigarette, if you're wondering. Back when I smoked, so we're talking pre-2000 and... When did I quit smoking? 2009? Something like that. It was a while ago. Standing in the back garden, having a fag, looking at the stars, because it was clear as anything, it was a very clear night. You could see the stars brilliantly. And I was just looking up at them, trying to recognise various constellations, which I'm not very good at. I only know a couple. Orion is the one you can see best from here. I'm used to seeing like the Plough and Cassiopeia from where I lived in Milton Keynes, just because of the direction I usually find myself facing in the garden, looking up at Orion. And then I saw, well, I was looking at what I thought was a star, except it moved. It was moving rather. Here's the thing, I mean, it was the size, it was a light the size of a star, a fairly bright star, not the brightest, not the pole star, not Jupiter. It was in the wrong place to be either of those. Medium brightness, but that kind of size. It moved. I can't tell you how high up this object was, you see. You could say maybe it was a satellite, or maybe it was a plane. It wasn't flashing. I think I actually saw two of these moving. One absolutely moved. And it's not the fact that I saw a light moving that bewilders me and makes me think, what the hell was that? You could say shooting star, meteorite, comet, something. Not comet. You know, something like that. All of those would be reasonable questions, except for one thing. It went like that. It was going in that direction, about that kind of speed. But then it did something that a moving object in our atmosphere could not do. It went... Can't explain that. If it was coming in and bouncing off the atmosphere, would it not go like that? Unless it was coming down like vertically and it was just the angle that I was looking at it, but it literally went like that and then shot off in almost the opposite direction. There was a little bit of an angle. It was a very acute angle. Quite quick, very quick. Don't know what that was. Couldn't tell you. Very strange. Didn't look like a shooting star, wasn't going quick enough. And what... I don't know. It was peculiar. And I can't explain it. There we are. That has nothing to do with ghosts. It's just another thing that I can't explain. So, those are my thoughts. That is my response. Do you believe in ghosts? Tell me your story. Response to Lawnboy's post, which is response to MADWOBBA. Thank you for watching.